Hi friends, welcome to SPG Learning. In this video, we are going to learn about database creation for employee login. Employee login database. To store large amount of data, we are using database in Android Studio. In Android Studio, database created using SQLite database, which is inbuilt in Android. So, no need for separate configuration in Android. SQLite database. It is a open source, lightweight, relational database management system which uses some private space for database operations like creation, insertion, deletion, updation, storing and retrieve. It can be added in Java by including it as a package. Android database.sql. This header package is used to access SQLite in our app, that is our login app. To create a database in an Android Studio, we need the following. Number 1, database. Our database is employee login, table name, login details, attributes under the table are ID, name, mail, password. All these are added in the code. The various files for database creation under Android Studio are activity_main.xml, mainActivity.java, employee detail activity.java, employee detail.xml. Employee detail is a layout resource file. Again, we have to add one more Java class file, dbhandler. Then we have to add manifest, that is Android manifest.xml code. To store the database details, we need to add one more layout resource file, login list row as an XML. So totally we have 7 files for database creation in Android Studio. Let us do this programmatically. Let us open Android Studio. It will take a while. In that, click File, New Project. Give the app name as My EMP Database. Then click Finish button. First, go to activity_main.xml file. In that, change the layout from constraint to linear layout and add the orientation as vertical. Let us add the title for our database. For that, in text view, change the text as employee database and add ID. Then add gravity as center, text size with 30 sp and specify the text style as bold. Now we are going to add the field, that is the attribute of employee login one by one. First we add the ID. For that, the label value is specified in text view with the necessary attributes with height, text, ID, margin left, size and text style. Similarly, the value field is given in edit text with the necessary attributes ID, width, height, margin left, int, size, EMS. I forgot to add ID, so now I added. To add the balance field, that is name, mail ID and password, we copy and paste the text view and edit text, and we are going to just change the ID and text values. Now add two buttons, one for insert and one for clear, with the various field with height, ID and text. Let us move to main activity.java file. Now add dbhandler.java file under the Java folder to create queries for accessing the database and its attribute. In that we are going to create insert query to insert the values. First add SQLite open helper with extends keyword. Then create, that is to remove the error, create the necessary methods. Then add our field for database. First add the version, then database name, table name and the attributes of the table. All the values are specified in the private section. Let us do the table creation with our query create table with the necessary field, that is our 4 field ID, name, mail ID and password. Now create a function called insert login details to insert the value into the database. For that, first we have to initialize database field with get writable database. Then we are going to create a variable C values to insert the content into the database. The 4 various content, that is our attributes in employee login, are ID, name, mail ID and password. Finally, we combine this value into the table we already created. To retrieve the employee details, we are going to create an array list get employee. In that, we are going to add a select query to get the various field from the database, that is our table. Under this, we are going to add a query variable, then cursor variable to get the query. Then to get various records, we are going to use a while loop, move to next field, then hashmap value to get the details. So each value is retrieved, then it is added into the employee list, that is our array list. Then finally we get the details with the help of add method and return employee list array list value. Now we will create a layout resource file employee login details.xml under res folder. For that, go to res layout, then click new layout resource file. In that, specify the name as employee login details. Now the file is created. This file is used to show the details of employee login in list view from SQLite database. It is an XML file. Go to the file code, then change the layout to linear and add the orientation as vertical. Then add one list view for employee details. Change the width as match parent and height as wrap content. Then give divider height as 1 dp and finally specify the ID employee list. And add a button for back option from the details with layout with wrap content, height as wrap content, gravity as center margin top as 25 dp, text as back, ID as button back. Now create another layout resource file known as employee list login under res layout new layout resource file. This file is used to show the employee login data in list view. Now change the layout to relative layout with orientation as horizontal, padding value as 5 dp. In this, we are going to add 4 text view for our 4 attributes in employee login database, that is EID, EMP name, EMP mail and EMP password. First, text view 1. Specify the layout width as wrap content, height as wrap content, text style as bold, size as 15 dp, ID as ID. Copy and paste the text view 1 and change the ID as name and add one more attribute to arrange this child view, that is specify layout below as ID. Again copy and paste this, then change the ID and change the attribute layout below as name. Again for text view 4, change the ID as password and add attribute layout below as mail ID. Here we are going to add 2 more attributes to separate one record of the employee login from another. For that, add align baseline under password ID and also layout align bottom as password ID. Now to get the details from a database into the list view, we are going to create an activity under Java. For that, go to Java, new Java class, then specify the file name as detail employee login activity. So this is used for displaying the data from SQLite database in our list view. First, add extends keyword with app compact activity. Then, copy the necessary methods from main activity and paste here. Then, add indent to move the activity from this detail employee login to main activity. Then, create an object for DB handler. Then, to get the value into the list, first, create an array list for the employee list. Then add list adapter to get the details, that is the various attributes of our database. One by one we are going to add this into this adapter. Add one list view LV1 to get the list value from the layout, that is done by find view by ID method. Then use set adapter to get the value into the list view. Now initialize one button variable to get the button from layout, that is also done by find view by ID method. Now add set on click listener method to get the value, that is to move the control from detail activity to main activity with the help of intent variable. Here we are getting some error in the DB handler. To remove this error, move to our dbhandler.java file, then add method dbhandler to get the value of database name and version. After adding this, the error is removed. Now we are going to add this activity under Android manifest.xml file. For that, add activity tag and add the Android name as detail employee login. Then add some label. I have added SQLite database employee login. Now go to our final file mainActivity.java. In that, first declare eid, ename, email id, epassword as edit text variable. Then add insert clear as button variable. All must be in private. Again add one more private variable for our DB handler as DB handler. Then add intent to transfer the activity control from main to details. Now use find view by ID method to get the values of the various database table attribute from layout to local variable which we have declared above in edit text and button. First we add for EID, then copy and paste it, then change it to ename, email ID, epassword, and also use find view by ID for button value. Now develop set on click listener for the insert button to get the values. First for EID, then ename, email ID, epassword. After receiving the text, add this to DB handler with the help of insert login detail which we have created already in DB handler Java file as insert query. Then use intent to transfer this control from main activity to detail employee login class. Then use toast message to display the message login detail inserted successfully. Now create another method, that is set on click listener for clear button to clear the field EID values for the next record. This is done with the help of setText method. Let us run this app. First insert the ID, name, mail ID and password. By clicking the insert button, we can get the details available in the database. Thank you.